Clear cooperation policy, CCP, stays for a little longer as we know it. I'm Ryan Rodenbeck with Realty Hack, and I wanted to talk about this. This is from realestatenews.com. The National Association of Realtors has decided to keep its controversial clear cooperation policy in place, but is adding some flexibility for sellers who want to delay listing homes via multiple listing services. After months of discussion and debate, the trade organization announced on March 25th that it is introducing multiple listing options for sellers, a new policy that creates a delayed marketing exempt listing choice. This category will enable a seller to temporarily hold off marketing their home through internet data exchange. The IDX feed allows real estate agents, brokers, and home sites such as Zillow, Realtor.com, or Homes.com to display MLS property listings. So, clear cooperation policy is the policy from NAR that states if you have a listing and you market it to the public via sign or website or anything like that, that it needs to be an MLS. The reason that MLSs want to do this is because it maintains data integrity. If a property is sold off market and it doesn't, the values of what it's sold for are not recorded on MLS, well, it's hard to get comps, and that's one of the main reasons for it. The other reason is that it is argued that homes that are sold off market are not in the best interest of the seller. I think one of the big proponents of removing CCP is Robert Refkin from Compass, and he states that it's better for the sellers. Look, I think that there are definitely some cases where off-market listings do have its place, for privacy reasons, sometimes in a luxury market. But in most cases, it's going to be best for the seller to put it on MLS. And one of the things I like that they've done here is that they're going to require that if a seller decides they want to delay the listing, so they're calling it delayed listing, and they have to sign a disclosure that tells the seller that they may do better by listing their home on the market, which I think is a missing piece of what we've seen from previous versions of any coming soon listing. So from NAR, during the delayed marketing period, the home seller and the listing agent can market the listing in a manner consistent with the seller's needs and interest. At the same time, a delayed marketing exempt listing will still be available to other MLS participants through MLS platform. Listing agents represent sellers who choose to delay the public marketing of their listing must secure from their seller a signed disclosure documenting the seller's consent. Okay. Every MLS gets to decide how long that delay is. Now, there are studies by Zillow and Bright MLS that have found that off MLS listings can cost sellers thousands of dollars per home. And again, this is case by case. I mean, some examples, like I said, are privacy issues, people that their house is in distress. If a house is ripe for development and it's going to be marketed exclusively to developers. Those are just some examples. So, here's some questions that they answered. NAR, how is days on market defined? Multiple listing options for sellers policy does not define days on market or will require MLS to track or report time on market information. This is a matter typically addressed within local MLS business rules. Does the time period during which a listing's marketing is delayed count toward days on market? Each MLS has discretion to determine whether to track days or time on market. The answer is almost certainly going to be no. They're not going to count that as days on market. Does the MLS have to show price change history of a delayed marketing exempt listing while in the status? And MLS is not required to track or report price change information other than the most recent increase or decrease in the price of a current listing. Each MLS has discretion to determine whether to track change history for a delayed marketing exempt listing and how to report it. So, this is a way, so that to put this in perspective, if you're Compass and you're quoting to your clients that you can send it to a huge network of Compass agents, that could give you the advantage. I believe that you should, in almost every single case, put except for a few exceptions we talked about, put the property on MLS. Okay. This levels the playing field in that most agents, if they're going to do the right thing, even in the coming soon delayed status, are going to put it in the MLS. So that gets, the game here is increased exposure for your client. The difference is when these properties are put in MLS on these delayed status is that they're not going to go on the public, websites like the portals like Zillow and Trulia and Redfin or whatever else there are, right? But this is a way that, and I believe the way Austin Board of Realtors is going to do it is like these won't be able to be automatically sent to your clients. You're going to have to look at them and then send them manually, which, doing our job, right? So there's a lot of controversy behind that. And I think that this is going to require a little bit more discussion about what these rules mean. I am curious if you're watching this video and if you have any thoughts on this, or if I have interpreted this in a way that you may not feel is correct. Would love for you to put comments in there or reply to an email if you got that. This is big news and I'm glad to see it go this way. I think it also gives smaller firms more of an advantage, or removes a disadvantage that we would have had from larger firms. So, let me know what you think.